Hey folks, my name is Kia Cannons and I am a creativity coach and a happiness expert. And today I want to talk to you about what to do when you are overwhelmed and you need to take back some control of your thinking. You know what it's like when your thoughts are completely carried away on a tangent of their own and you feel absolutely awful. Now, usually I'm here every week teaching you how to do what you love, but given the situation that we're all living under and self-isolating and all of the worries and concerns that naturally come up when you are experiencing a shock and something completely out of the ordinary that you can't control, what I want to help you with is that today. So I use this exact tool myself pretty much every day, and if I did it every day I'd be even happier. So I'm going to share with you the tool that I use every time that I notice I'm starting to feel overwhelmed, and something that I do most days anyway, just to be able to pick and see what is the underneath everything, what's going on under the surface level with me. Because every single day you will wake up and you will be unconscious that there are thoughts you're having which are causing you to feel a certain way. And unless you do a bit of digging and you wake up and have that intention in the morning that, okay, how am I feeling? What's going on in my mind? Let's have a little look at it. Then you're likely to be at the mercy of that unconscious thinking all day. And the good news is you don't need to be. And especially at times like this, if you're watching this close to when this has been recorded and released, then at times like this, when you really feel like life is very much out of control and there are several things you could be worrying about, then this tool is seriously, seriously helpful. So I'll let you know what I do before it in case it's something that you already do in your daily practice or something you've done before or something you want to try. Before I even do this tool is going to be around free writing and emptying your head of your thoughts and dealing with them. But before I do that, I always take some time to quieten my mind down. And I do that by first sitting. Well, first of all, I sneak up before my children wake up, and I sneak out of bed and I go downstairs and I get some complete quiet on my own. So if it's possible for you to get some alone time to do this, perfect. Otherwise, earphones in, tell everybody just give me 10 minutes and try. And as long as your children are safe, if you have children, then try and get yourself on your own. Likewise for if you are looking after people or that kind of thing. If you can do this on your own, brilliant. And I simply sit there for 10 minutes and take some deep breaths. And that's literally 4 breaths in, hold them, 4 breaths exhaling, and I repeat that for a few rounds. Immediately I feel more grounded. And then I attempt to simply not think. I tell my mind, you know what, you're so useful and I really appreciate you, but I need you right now to switch off. You're not needed right now. Right now, what I need you to do is be quiet. And I literally will give my mind those instructions because the mind thinks its job is to fix everything and be constantly on the lookout, scanning everything. And instead, I sink into trying to simply be aware, just be pure awareness. And I just feel, I hear. It's not so much listening, it's just I witness everything. Another word for this is meditation, but if I told you to begin with to start by meditating for 10 minutes, you might have gone, yay! But if you haven't got into meditation or been exposed to it, then you may have preconceived ideas about it, but that's all it is. And the magic of doing that before the tool that I'm going to share with you in a second is that it calms you down. It connects you to your inner self. So when you do this exercise of emptying your mind, you really are connecting to what is in here. And it also starts to turn on your connection between your brain and your heart and your soul and your true inner essence. And they work really well when they work together. Unfortunately, most of the time we're just working from our brain. So that's a whole other subject. We won't go on that down that tangent right now. This is now the tool. So if you can do those first 2 points beforehand, brilliant. If not, that's fine. So the tool is this. You sit down, pen, paper. Again, if you can have some quiet and solitude, brilliant. Put on your earphones, tell people not to disturb you for 10 minutes. Go in another room if you can. You know, signal to the world that I just am taking 10 minutes to myself. And simply write down what's in your head. And I usually start with anything. I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about that, I'm feeling this today, this is top of my mind this morning. And then I start to get specific and I write down what's bothering me. And it's really interesting how quite often you don't really know what's bothering you. You just know that you've woken up feeling uneasy. you've woken up feeling a bit dready, you've woken up feeling completely uncomfortable, you've woken up feeling worried, down, you know all the feelings. And so getting a piece of paper and saying, I'm going to write this down and I'm going to look at it, because this is the key, guys. If you can empty your head and look at what is inside your head, and the best way to do this is on paper and writing it by hand, not even on a computer, by hand is the absolute best way of doing this, then you've got something to work with, and you can very quickly do the work, turn it around, and release the feelings that those thoughts are creating. So write down what's bothering you and keep going until you feel like you've got everything out, until you sit there thinking, okay, there's nothing else top of mind right now. You're looking for what's bothering you now, not in life what's bothering you. Let's face it, if we wrote down everything that was bothering us, infinitely, all the infinite possibilities of things that bother us all of the time, then we could be there all day. But what is bothering you right now? And then I want you to take each statement that you've written, because you might have written, for me, sometimes I write about 5 different things that are really bothering me, and just pick the first one. Write that down, and you write down the thought, sort of semicolon, write down the thought. So it could be, for example, right now, the thought is, I'm absolutely exhausted from dealing with the shock of the self-isolation, people getting poorly, financial worries and uncertainty and insecurity. But I'm so tired. I don't know how to deal with it, and I don't want to deal with it today. I just want to relax. But I can't give myself the opportunity to relax because I feel that's irresponsible and I should be getting on with things. So instead, I'm in an awful cycle of resisting what I think I need to do, not doing the relaxation bit, which is also what I feel I want to do, and I feel completely stuck and in a spiral. I wonder if any of this feels familiar for you guys. This is certainly little places that I have visited very quickly and done the work and got straight out of because they feel awful. And it's our own suffering. It's our minds that create this. And so you might want to take the first one, which is, I want to relax right now. I want to enjoy what everybody is saying that they're doing. You know, they're having Netflix days, they're playing puzzles, they're enjoying the garden, they're having a declutter. But I feel like I can't because there's all this worry about stuff that I probably should be doing and I don't want to do it. Okay, so write down, the first thing is, I don't feel I can relax. That's the thought. And then write down, is it true? And ask yourself, is it true? So in this example, is it true that I cannot relax right now, that I am not allowed to? It's a bad idea. And then see what comes up. Because this is exactly what I went through this morning. I'm giving you my own example. And I realized, actually, when I allow myself to relax, I get my heart feeling at ease again, because at that point it was real tight. And when my heart is tight and I'm starting to feel the feelings that shoot off from that, then I start to feel a bit of overwhelm. I might have anxious thoughts coming in and anxious feelings as a result of those thoughts. And I can't do anything. It wouldn't matter if you put me on the phone to the person that could help me, I wouldn't be able to function. So is it true that I should not relax today? I realized, no, it's not true. The best thing I can do is get myself back to feeling centered and ready to take this on in a practical way. And actually, the truth is, the very best thing I can do is listen to my body, listen to my impulses. My impulse this morning was, I just want to garden. I just want to get out in the garden and weed. And it was beautiful. I did. My children joined me. One of them started whittling and whittled a stick that had been trimmed from the hedges recently. From the council went round we live next to a park, and we have all these huge, really exciting, smooth branches. And perfect for 10-year-olds to put, whittle into spears. And he sat outside and he did it for 3 hours until it was as he wanted it. My other son drifted out, saw us gardening, went on the trampoline, in and out, helping me. It was a beautiful morning. It's what I've been craving, what I've been hearing other people doing, just taking time with their family, doing the good old-fashioned outdoor stuff. And after that, I was ready. So you go through that process. Every single thought, challenge it. Is it true? And find what you truly believe to be true. It's absolutely fine if you can't reverse it. And if you go, okay, I've just got to find acceptance with this now. That's the only stage I want you to get to right now. You either accept it or you actually find the truth in it, which is usually something completely opposite in what we're looking for. After that, I then want you to look at, what do I actually need to do to help myself here? For me, again, I'll give you my own example. My husband and I are both self-employed. My husband's income has been massively affected by this virus, and all of his contracts have been cancelled, and we're suddenly without the main breadwinning income. And whilst my business hasn't really been touched because I'm an online business, I cannot support the whole family like that, especially in this economic climate. So what did we need to do? We needed to write down all of our direct debits, any loans, any credit cards, everything that we pay out, and then decide what we're going to do about this. So we decided we're going to phone every single one and ask if we can have a payment holiday for ideally 3 months, next case 2 months, or at the very worst, could we just not pay it next month? We know we've got enough for this month, but next month is going to be tricky as it stands right now. And so we talked, well, who's going to do what? And we talked about, what sort of is quite triggering. Like, I find those kind of conversations more difficult than my husband. I don't like it. They bring me down they kind of get me into a low vibrational state. And he doesn't mind them at all. He also doesn't mind sitting on a call waiting for 2 hours till the phone call comes through. It doesn't stress him out at all. I really don't like it. And so we decided that today I would chill, relax, fill my cup, and wait till I was in the mood for work, which interestingly, suddenly I am. I'm filming this now because I feel like it, and I know that's because I took time to relax this morning and listen to my impulses, and then my impulse went, I've got an idea for my psychologies video. And here I am. I've got the energy and the excitement and the wherewithal to want to be doing this right now. I've moved out of the overwhelm, through the relaxation, filled the cup, ready for action. And so my husband has been on the phone all day. Every single place that we've phoned has said, no problem, you don't have to pay this month. And a couple of people have said, you don't have to pay for 2 months. So if you can do those two things, first of all, empty your mind, look at what you're thinking, challenge it, examine it, and question it until the cows come home. Don't stop asking yourself, is that really true, until you've got the truth. And then write out what is true. Writing out what is true is super, super important there. And then secondly, look at, okay, what do I actually have to do so I do feel like I'm being responsible? Because it's that feeling that you're not doing what you need to be doing right now, which causes you a lot of stress. Now, you can't do all the things at once, and you cannot do it when you haven't filled your cup and got to a point of dealing with your thoughts to calm yourself down. But once those have happened, or if you can work with somebody else to support you, like I have done with my husband this morning, then take some small steps towards the practical action that is required. That's going to mean that you really can stop feeling in this situation because you feel like the thing that's worrying you the most is being taken care of. And for everything else, I just advise you to work on accepting it, accepting that as is. When you learn how to stop trying to control everything, or only being okay if everything is the way you want it, then again, you are on the path to releasing yourself from a huge amount of suffering that you may be creating in your own mind through resisting what is. If you try to argue with what is, you'll lose every time. What is, is. So if you can look to find acceptance of it, and I know it's really hard, but maybe we'll do a video on that at some point, but deal with what you can deal with, change your thinking, challenge your thinking, and accept the things you cannot change, and you will find that you are a very different person, having very different emotions. So best of luck, and thank you for listening.